Hello, hi. This is Monique again. I just wanted to come to y'all today and talk about the order of service in the church that is mainly used for a magical purpose. People don't understand like what magic is and how it's used, and it's different from what they use in the church. The church disagrees with it, but that's not really true. They actually already use this in the church as well. They may not have an understanding of the symbology behind it, but they certainly, in fact, do use magic and witchcraft or sorcery, whatever word makes you feel more comfortable. They certainly use this in the church. So I want to discuss the order of service. I do want to put a disclaimer out there that this is probably going to be more along the lines of the Christian churches out there. Not all the Christian may typically follow this path, but it will definitely probably hit on some points that you guys are probably at least a little familiar with. So I'm just going to dig in. The first one is they start with the intercessory prayer. The intercessory prayer, that's basically whoever's holding the microphone, they are basically setting the tone, setting the intention, the objective of what they want to accomplish for that particular service. They are telling you, charge this atmosphere with this and with that. Let's pray for membership, pray for a great service, pray for this, let's do this, let's raise this money. They are setting the intentions and they're charging the atmosphere for that, for you guys to actually like come up with those results at the end. So once you do the intercessory prayer, they typically move over to praise and worship. Praise and worship is mainly songs, whichever one they decide they want to start with. But oftentimes they start off with more of the praise. Praise is going to be probably more along the lines of like an upbeat tempo. I guess you can say more praise, giving thanks, gratitude, that type of thing, but not always. But most of the time, it's going to be more upbeat. The tempo of the songs in the Christian church probably has the most dominant effect outside of the person who's like holding the microphone. The person who holds the microphone has the most dominant influence and effect in the actual building and the people in the church. But the tempo of the song is really going to help create a medium for the energy to be moved in a certain direction. So your heart beat tends to tries to match the tempo of whatever song that you're listening to, or whatever sound that you're listening to. The shamans use the drumming; they use that to kind of do more of like the vision quest and do certain things. It is really used as a medium to journey a path. It is a medium, a way to pull you in a certain direction. So that's why they use a lot of the praise songs are going to be more up tempo, and it's up tempo because it activates the energy. It wakes you up. It gets your attention. It's like throwing a bucket of water on your face from whatever you were dealing with. A lot of times, whenever you go to church, they tell you, they start off with the intercessory prayer and everything like that. So they tell you, oh, okay, we're going to pray for this, charge this atmosphere for that. They want to tell you, oh no, leave your problems at the door, and you're going to come in here and you're going to give God a praise. And your subconscious mind, and also your conscious mind as well too, you think you're giving God something. And you actually are. I mean, you are activating that energy. You are getting that blood pumping in there, and then they want to basically push the congregation to do more of this monkey see, monkey do act. Most of the Christian churches now these days, they have like a praise and worship leader. Someone up there literally telling them what to do. Stand up on your feet, clap your hands, move your hands side to side, whatever, sprint in a circle, jump off the pew, whatever it is. You are really kind of following the leader. Um, and basically what they're doing is on more of an energetic level for you guys that are more on the metaphysical side of it. They are basically converting that charged energy in that atmosphere into moving energy. It's a conversion. You're taking that intention and you're putting it in that person for them to exude that, so that whenever they move forward with the service, it is going to be a more concentrated effect towards people that are listening to the person holding the microphone, whoever that might be. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the worship song. Typically in churches, I'm saying, I want y'all to hear me clearly when I say typically. It's not always the case, but a lot of the time, worship songs tend to be like a drastically slower tempo. So now you just came from a high praise, like the high praise up tempo song. Tonight we're going to slow that tempo down, and it's drastically different. Why do they do this? They just aggregate all that energy, and now they need a reason to get something out of you. So they sing these songs about Jesus dying on the cross. He didn't have to do it. I feel guilty. I'm a wretch. I don't deserve it. I give myself away. Jesus, you didn't have to do that. So I'm gonna live my life serving you. I'm gonna give you my attention, my love. I'm gonna give you. So you activated all of that in you, and you just gave it to the person who's holding the microphone. That is the intention behind that in general. So it also provokes guilt and shame, and it promotes worthlessness too. And a lot of people don't realize that's the intention behind like these worship songs. When you talk about Jesus and this and that, he did this and he did that. I mean, you're singing about it, and I get that. That's totally up to the individual whoever created the song or whatever. But it still also holds a frequency of that person who believes whatever they're saying. If they don't believe it, I mean, it's a clashing. So they really have to have someone directing the people to like do certain things to get it to move in a direction for the ultimate purpose, which is the result, and which they typically state in the intercessory prayer. Then after the worship song is typically an invocation, which is exactly what it's saying. It's an invoking of spirits. You're opening up that portal. You just activated all that energy. You just gave it away. So now you have all this room, to open up a portal. You're invoking the spirits. You're putting all these spirits in, whatever they are, whatever that person holding microphones, whatever his or her personal belief system, who they believe is God. Also the people who are in the congregation who are following them. You have all these different types of frequencies in here. You just created this massive portal inside of one building. And so whoever they believe is God or an angel or whoever they are worshiping at that particular point in time is going to have that ability to come in there. But also because most of the time they don't clear the space before they come in there. And, having been, I'm an ex-wife of a church musician, and I've probably been to more church than so many of y'all put together. They don't clear that space before they come in there. You might have had spirits already lurking in there that are out there and hiding, looking to prey on people. So you have created a massive portal. So it's really like important. I really don't try to use the word God, especially when I am invoking any type of spirit that I want to work with. That's not something that I really want to do, because that is such a generic term, and it holds so many different frequencies, good, bad, whatever. I really want to be specific with whoever I want to work with at that point in time. And you need to put a filter on that. So somebody's God might be money. Somebody's God might be, Lucifer. Somebody's God might be Archangel Michael, whoever. Everybody has their own connotation on who they feel is God. But again, the person who holds the microphone is going to have the most dominant effect on that. Because after all, you just activated your energy and you just gave it all the way to that person. You just gave them that energy, and now you are giving them the most, you're now making that person with the microphone the most powerful person in that particular room. So, the next part, what they typically do, they normally play like another song. And the reason why they do that, that's to kind of keep the energy flowing. When you do like the upbeat, then you do a slower beat song, you have to keep it going, because if you start high then you go low, it has a tendency to want to continue to like kind of phase out to where it's less effective. So you have to they're really manipulative the way they did that. So you have the upbeat, then you have the slower beat, and then they do another song to redirect the energy to keep it flowing. So after that, you normally have like a pastor who may try to come up there and want to sell his products, his sermons, his this, his that, his whatever paraphernalia, CDs, whatever people, whatever pastor sells these days. I haven't gone to church in a few years, so I don't know, whatever they sell up there. So they're selling that up there. And it's kind of like you just depleted all of your energy, and you just allowed all these entities or whoever enter into this portal to use you. Your energy is depleted. So if your energy is depleted, it's really difficult for you to have much discernment in there. And when you have so many spirits walking around in there. So after that, you might have another song. Sometimes they might just go straight to like their whatever tithing and offering. after that. So they typically do, tithing, or they're offering the offertory period for some type of like an upbeat tempo. But not always. Sometimes they might do something that the church has, a song that the church tends to like have a positive response to, something that just really gets people like really excited. You know how we are when we hear our favorite song or a song that we haven't heard in a really long time. We hear that throwback and we get like super excited. They have a tendency to play something along those lines. Also, something that might say something about giving. Okay, I'm going to give because the song is saying to give. So you have the subconscious thing working with the law of attraction, because you hear give and they're saying it's time to give. You kind of have it, it's kind of put in your head, okay, well, I guess I should be grabbing out my wallet and giving my money to these people because that's what everybody else is doing. Again, the monkey see, monkey do thing going. After that, they go to the sermon. To be honest with you, whatever the pastor is preaching, it really doesn't matter. You're not really receiving everything that he's saying because you're so depleted. You just activated your energy, gave it away, activated it again. You have all these spirits where you don't really know exactly, on a conscious level, you don't really absorb what you need to absorb out of that. Because you're not you. You're in a form of hypnosis, to be honest with you. You're in a trance. You're not really you. You are just following whatever they're telling you to do. After the sermon, they typically go to more of like some type of like a softer music. Oftentimes it's like strings or bells or something along those lines. That's gonna kind of help like give it like a watery, emotional, provoking effect of, again, more guilt. Then they'll do like some type of an altar call where they'll open up a period for like prayer requests, the laying of hands, whatever those things might be. Everybody has again, this portal is still open here, okay? I want y'all to remember, the portal is still open. My prayer request, if I'm going to church, my prayer request might not be the same prayer request as the person sitting next to me, or the person in front of me, or the pastor. That we all have our different intentions here. So this is where things get really, really sticky. So all these spirits in here with this portal here, however, whatever our intention is behind these prayer requests, and the other energies in line have like a really, really clashing effect that kind of goes on here as to why that might not be effective. I'm going to do a separate video on that too, as well, to help y'all understand like why if we're really doing magic, why isn't it working when we go to church? But anyways, then a lot of times after they do like the altar call, they do more like the sowing of the seeds. Then do another song, and then they do the benediction. So in summary of that, you have the charging of the atmosphere in the building, which is the intercessory prayer, the activation of the energy for the congregation, you're going to activate that. Then you're going to purge, and you're going to give all the energy over to the person who's holding that microphone. Then you're going to invoke the spirits, because you just depleted your energy. You're going to allow those spirits to take control over you and control over how things tend to go. Then you're going to activate that energy again with more music, and then you're going to give them your money, because you're programmed to kind of be led in this particular direction. You just made yourself so much more malleable and so much more conducive to whatever higher powers, whether that be that person holding the microphone or be those spirits in there. Then you have a sermon, and then you have, again, more giving. You're not really on a conscious level understanding that you are giving so much more of yourself than you are really getting in return. So two things that I really want y'all to like pay attention to, and if you guys are like still going to church or whatnot, or even if you want to kind of look back in retrospect, like I tend to do, I really don't want to go back in anybody's church to have another experience of that, because I've been to church way too much. But the church wants active participation. This is like the key thing to them being able to manipulate you. It is the active participation. Anybody that's leading praise and worship, any pastor, anybody that's praying, anybody that's holding that microphone in that particular building, they want you to participate. If you are resistant to that, you are adding more tension in there, and the energy does not move the way they want you. The energy does not move the way that they want it to move. So oftentimes they have you standing up and sitting down. Stand up for prayer, and then we're going to sit down for offering. Stand up for this, and we're going to sit down for... And they have to have that consistency. As long as you keep that energy moving is when they can more so manipulate you the best. Also, talking to your neighbor is a good thing. Oh, tell your neighbor this, tell your neighbor that. That kind of thing. It's really kind of promoting people to be more active and participate more into the service. So let's see. One other point that I did want to make in this was that when you're doing, they're talking about the whole sermon and the offering and the offertory period for that. This is more so along the lines of doing the biggest energy exchange. Even though whatever he's consciously saying, you're not consciously aware of what he's talking about. You are just sitting there because you're depleted, you know. And if you're anything like me, you weren't paying attention anyways. You were only paying attention halfway because at the time my kids were small. You know, I have my, son. I would have my son, throwing a temper tantrum because he, I won't let him use my phone. And my daughter just threw up on my clothes. It's really hard for me to keep an undivided attention on that anyway. So this is why I was able to notice some of these things. But even when you give someone your undivided attention, you are still doing an energy exchange. Even you, like watching this video right now, it's still an energy exchange. You're receiving the energy of my intention and presenting this video, and I'm also receiving the intention behind it as well too. Whenever you are watching this, so whether your intention is to just be nosy or to really learn, it's still an energy exchange here. So the concept behind that is really on an energetic level is for you to give him your energy, and in place he is going to replace that. So the energy is really manifests in the physical, maybe more like a belief system. Your belief system is, oh, I'm really down on my luck. I'm really sad. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. Did I leave my flat iron on? Oh my God, I forgot to put the pot roast in the oven. This and that. You're really, replacing your own belief system with that pastor's intention in his belief system. So if he wants to ingrain, y'all need to give more money to God, or give more money to the church, or do this or do that. It's really a replacing other belief systems here. That is on a subconscious level. That's not really more of a, that's not really something on a conscious level that y'all know. Like whatever he's talking about don't really matter. It is his intention. And because you have given your power away in the form of, purging your energy and giving it over to them, you don't really have that much control. And again, it's not them controlling you. You kind of, yes, it's them controlling you, but you gave it to them. They didn't hit you over the head or force you to do anything. You went in there and you were influenced to do what everybody else is doing. You have the ability to resist. So this is how they're able to manipulate people who go to church. And let's see, let me go back to, also, after all that, the sermon, you're really kind of doing more so as a pastor, doing things as a pastor told you to do. It's more of an act of obedience. And because he's your pastor and you trust him, you feel like pastor represents Jesus or God, or represents this or that. You kind of have this domino effect thing going here. You think you're doing something for God, but you're really doing something because that pastor told you to do it, or because everybody else is doing it and you feel left out if you're anything like me. So, so you bring that up to the altar, whatever your gift is, your seed, your whatever your offering is to that during the altar call, your prayer request and all that other stuff. And then you have the song of the benediction, which is basically your return to your regular state of consciousness. Now that all that stuff has happened, you have basically transferred your energy over to the people who has a microphone, and now they play this music, and then they end the prayer, and then all of a sudden, suddenly, oh, okay, I'm here again. It's really no different than you feeling really tired and you start dozing off, and your head hits your chin hits your chest, and you're like, okay. You're waking up, you're back to yourself. Now, on a conscious level, you don't really fully realize what exactly happened. On a subconscious level, that it was really more of the change. All you know is that there is a change in how you felt when you left. What changed is how you, and your energy was how you felt, not really on a conscious level. You have a Bible at home, or you have the Torah, or the Septuagint, or whatever it is that you use. You have that at home. You're really going there for more of an experience that you're not able to get at home. So this is something that, I really want to help y'all understand more on a conscious level. Don't be led by that subconscious factor of it, because that's really what they're pulling on. But whenever they do this benediction and you return to your regular state of consciousness, it does have a tendency to make you feel a little bit refreshed because you just woke up. You just went, you went there, and whatever your intention was when you went to, whenever you got in your car and you drove to church, you might have wanted to get some prayer because you wanted to get a job or something like that. But because you left your problems at the door and you went in there and you did whatever these people told you to do, that you may not have ever like accomplished that yourself, but you feel like something happened because it was the energetic change, not in a subconscious level and not a conscious level. So, that in turn kind of leaves you led to believe that you got something out of it. Like something's changing, but I don't really know what it is. Something is, but you know what? You know, so you go to church, you leave, you go home, and you feel a little bit better, a little bit of a change in you. You know that there's a change in your energy. But by the time, if you go to church on Sundays, by the time, Wednesday rolls around, you're starting to feel depleted again. You're like, oh, wow, I need to go back to church. I want to get that change in myself again. So you're kind of led to like keep doing this repeated act over and over and over again. So, I think that is all that I have for y'all right now. If I have anything to add, I'm more than happy to put that up there in a separate video. Please comment below if you have any questions or concerns, or even if you just wish to discuss on a level that I care about discussing it. I really don't want to argue with anybody, but if you, want to contact me for any reason, you can feel free to comment below, or you can email me at oraclemonique@gmail.com. That's oraclemonique@gmail.com. I hope to hear from y'all soon. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.